Hey folks, how's it going? Curious UK here. So Mikey Smith, on his last live stream, decided to respond to my last video. So let's check it out and see what he has to say, and debunk him again. Why not? It's kind of fun.
Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting flerf dreams.
Please hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel, it helps me out loads, costs you nothing. And comment down below and share this out.
So we've got this somewhat other government agent over in the UK who likes to just like totally randomly say shit about me.
Hey, I think Mikey's talking about me. Thanks, Mikey, for the shout out. I don't randomly say stuff about you there, pumpkin. I only say stuff about you when you get shit wrong, which is pretty much all the time. But especially when you start giving dangerous and false medical advice, which you know nothing about, and you've never shown any evidence to prove what you say has any basis of any kind of studies or evidence or any kind of conclusions to show this. Everything you say, in fact, if you look into it, is not based on any facts or evidence. It's just mainly just like online influencers and TikTokers who are just making stupid claims because they don't understand what they're talking about.
And I guess the more calm you are when you talk, the more the bullshit that comes out of your mouth, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe the more it sounds that you're truthful. I don't know. I can see right through your lies, people. Okay.
Absolutely nothing that I say in that video was a lie. It was all based on scientific studies, evidence, and obviously information from medical doctors and medical professionals who've stated the dangers of drinking borax, especially at the levels he's drinking at, and also the amount of Epsom salts you take in on a daily and even weekly basis. Like, well, okay, 2 to 3 times a week, and each time you do, it's actually a dangerous amount. Epsom salts in a very small amount, a teaspoon, or half a teaspoon, perhaps. But even then, it's only for if you're experiencing constipation. It's not really for any kind of cleansing or detoxification that Mikey claims it's for. I also do appreciate the fact that you noticed that I keep a calm, cool, collected mannerisms. I don't need to shout and act up and act like a complete idiot to get my points across, because I'm right.
If you think my stars are blurry, or whatever you think they are, or the firmament is blurry.
Dude, your stars are blurry because you have no idea how to focus your camera or your phone. You're focusing on the lens and the internal distortions you're getting on it. And I'm not saying anything about the firmament being blurry, because the firmament doesn't exist. It's a delusional fantasy you've made up in your mind. What you see in your footage is called digital noise and artifacts. There's no firmament there. But your star videos are shit. And I've proven it. I did a video in which I was able to replicate your star video, star images, using a kid's telescope and holding my phone at really weird, funky angles.
Again, you're not showing me your footage to compare, and you never will.
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why?
That's funny, because for about a year I've been posting up all my different astrophotography I've done, and I've tagged Mikey in pretty much all these videos, but he's blocked me and ran away because he doesn't want to see them. Let's look. Oh, look, here's Venus. This is Venus again. This is from last March, about a year ago. This is the Pleiades star clusters. And here's moon video pictures. Here's one picture done. Here's another one. These are all on my channel, astrophotography channel. If you want to check it out, go on and check it out. This is another one here. This is all me. Here's one of Jupiter and 3 of its moons right there. And here's Jupiter again with 3 of its moons again. See how they move? Because they're orbit around the planet. Here's Jupiter without the moons. And then here's Saturn, a picture I'd done. I sent to Mikey. Here's another one of Jupiter recently I put up. And another one. This is all the stuff I've done myself. So that there's Arcturus right there. This is the observations Mikey Smith is too afraid to do. He wants videos of stars here. So we're just having a look at the moon. We're looking for Mikey's moonworms. We're going to see if we can see any moonworms. What do you guys think? Think we'll see any tonight? Maybe we'll see aliens. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Right. We're going to see if we can find Mikey's moonworms. See here. Oh. What do you reckon? Have we seen any yet? Don't worry about the moonworms. We'll address those in a little bit, which I'll show you Mikey's video, and I'll tell you what he's actually seeing, what's actually happening. It's not what he thinks, mainly because he has no idea what he's looking at. Now, I thought I'd show you a little clip where I actually simulated Mikey Smith's observations using my kid's little tiny telescope, little toy telescope, and holding my camera, my phone camera at weird angles. Check out the full video if you want to see it. There's much better examples on there, but I pretty much nailed it, I think. This was just me just pissing about this stuff, because I figured I could probably simulate Mikey Smith and Sam from Flat Earth Reconnaissance. I could simulate what they get, the effects they get, with just simply using a star. I just picked a bright one, and I just using the cheap optics of just and a cell phone, and not even held correctly. So that's why you're getting the effects you're getting. There's times you can see when I'm getting the quote unquote frequencies, the spikes up, and that's only because the optics are a little off center, and my phone's not quite held straight, and that's why they're getting. Their technique is very, very flawed, and optics they're using are very subpar, and that's why I think the effects you get, and this is just me just proof concept. So I'll have a look here, and you'll see in just a minute. So here's a few shots I took. I actually took these are pictures I took with my phone. And I think these I ran it through the same app that Mike uses. So I used as a CapCut. And you can see the same kind of frequencies he thinks he's getting, as well as the aberration with all the colors and stuff. So here, you kind of get the idea. All right, so some of these are actually pictures I took with my phone through the telescope. And then all I've done is just zoom straight in to really, really zoomed in with my editing software. I haven't done anything else. All I did is just zoom into the single star. The same thing that Mikey does, he uses his CapCut. I'm just using KineMaster and just to show you just raw what it looks like zoomed in. So yeah, I pretty much just simulated Mikey's observations and Flat Earth Reconnaissance. The same shit they're putting out all the time. They claim what the stars look like. So I just used a kid's cheap 20-pound telescope, like 20 British pounds is what it cost about, and just holding my camera at a weird angle. So yes, definitely blurry stars because it's not how they look, and it's just what happens. You use shitty optics and a really poor methodology.
Okay, so we're going to look at this moon footage of this electrical discharge or whatever it is jumping off the moon, okay, because there was many of the same things there was at least a dozen of them that evening. There was one that jumped off or leaped off or short-circuited off. Now this is not CGI, this is not out of focus, not chromatic aberration. I do know how to use my phone. Whatever it is you frickin' people like to say or do, again, with none of your own evidence of anything.
Well, we know that's a lie because I've tagged Mikey in my observations all the time, and he's just simply ran away. Now, he did see a video which I actually replicated his stuff, but he thought I did a really good job. So pretty much that was just Mikey saying that I was able to replicate his observations and show how it's easily I can easily do it again, and how poorly done it really is. And that I was able to get his method down. Now, as for the thing about the about his wiggly thing off the stars, that he says that he knows how to use his phone and stuff. Well, that's really funny because I looked at his original footage, which he did, I think it was 6-7 years ago now, and he didn't use his phone. That was done with his P1000, and that, well, you see a little squiggly line. I looked into it, did some research, and found on some of the forums for the P1000 forums that it's called ghosting, and it's lens ghosting caused by internal reflections in the with being so super zoomed in, and it's a known fault that happens because of just this bit of light and stuff, the light bouncing on, and it's actually causing a ghost in the lenses and all the different lenses throughout that lens. And this is something that's seen and replicated many times. So what he's seeing there is just a little point, you know, because the moon has different points on there, so there's a little brighter on some of the on some of the ridges of the craters and stuff. And one is kind of causing a sort of little reflection, and because he's holding the camera, it's shaking all around, it's squiggling around, and you see it disappear. And if you look at the original video, it shows back up at the bottom left again. And that's just because the reflection's there, it wiggles around, then it goes away because the angle goes off a little bit, and then as the moon goes away, this thing goes the other way, and he's holding the camera, or it's being actually being blown around, not being held. So you hear the wind in the microphone, and then because the moon drifts off one way, this goes the other way, and it shows up again because that reflection pops up at the correct angle again, and then it disappears out of the frame. So that's all that is. It's not a moon worm. It's nothing like that. It's simply just a bit of ghosting, lens ghosting, and due to internal reflections in the lens. That's easy. It didn't take very long. If you had gone on some of the Nikon P1000 forums, you'd see that many people have talked about this, especially when viewing the moon.
I don't know what the hell's going on, guys, but you're mentally deranged, okay? Second of all, I don't give the wrong health advice, okay, on my channel.
He 100% does give the wrong health advice, and I've proven it several times, and I will prove it again here. So Mikey Smith should never be giving out any kind of home remedy or any kind of health advice or anything to help for conditions. Man knows nothing about anything, and he's definitely the wrong person you want to ask to give you advice on to help with any kind of conditions you're having or any kind of gripes and pains and stuff. If you have any kind of advice, if you have any worries, go see a medical professional, seek proper help. Don't talk to some weird fly earther who thinks he's taking pictures of a magical sky dome and shouts on the internet and phones up observatories just to shout at them. That's probably not the right person to be getting kind of advice about your health.
There are benefits of drinking borax. You just don't understand it. You haven't researched it. And there are many people that actually drink way more borax than I do.
Citation needed. Prove it, Mikey. But there's absolutely no benefits of drinking borax whatsoever. There's none. Borax has been classed as a toxin in Europe, UK, Australia, and it's been deemed by the FDA in the United States and Canada as being not a food item and not to be used in any food, not to be drank and stuff like that. It's simply just a cleaning agent, that's all. And sometimes can be used for doing middle work, like doing foraging and stuff like that. Some people who have home forges make different items and stuff like that. When you're making ignits, you can use borax. That helps with the when you're heating up the elements, or you put it on there, make a knife and stuff, you can sprinkle it on, and it helps with getting some of the different elements and stuff out, like different impurities out. But that's all it's for. Definitely do not drink it, and I'll show the evidence here in a second.
I drink borax once in a while, and it's only like a teaspoon, okay? Not a big deal. This is why other countries have banned it from their country, because of the health benefits. It's boron. It's beneficial to you.
Just a quick note, I was listening to this when going through editing. In fact, there's no scientific evidence that says the boron, even just boron itself, is actually beneficial to you. There's still studies going on about that to see if there's any benefits or how it interacts or how it works with the human body. But as of right now, there's zero evidence, scientific or medical evidence, to say that boron is actually beneficial to the body.
So anything that the other people, we won't name them, they don't care about you. Okay, they don't care about us. So they want to take away all the wonderful health advice, all the benefits of doing things.
Right, prove Mikey wrong. Here's from the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, and it's talking about the health alert and how dangerous it is to drink borax. So as follows: borax is a compound for laundry detergent. It's not safe to ingest. It's chemical classified as poison or toxin in humans by the Australian government. So borax is naturally occurring mineral compound, usually found in laundry powders, pesticides, and trending across social media. It's not a cure-all health tonic, but health experts warn the realm of its dodgy health advice started TikTok, multiple creators encouraging audiences to drink borax to elucidate claims benefits increase libido. It says about how on Facebook and stuff that you can see the stuff, but and it's non-toxic claims, lowering from the inflammation, all this shit. Same stuff that Mikey's claimed, but it's bullcrap. And yeah, there's people seeing this because people see it, but so like substance composes of boron, sodium, oxygen, hydrogen is classified by health authorities as a toxic substance that is not safe to ingest. Facebook post claiming drinking borax is a cure-all for other is an example of long list of internet health hoaxes. In New South Wales Food Authority website states borax is a toxic substance that possesses an acceptable risk to human health when used in food. According to authorities, symptoms of ingesting borax can include I think it's headaches, fever, nausea, vomiting, red eyes. In large doses, it can be lethal. It's definitely not good. Borax has been found in the Australian government to be a reproductive toxin, meaning impair fertility and cause harm to unborn children. It's classified as it's not for therapeutic. So it's not good for at all. It's Schedule 5 poison, meaning it can be used for domestic purposes, but requires caution when handling it and used as stored. Borax is listed as Schedule 4 poison, meaning it has some prescription medicines. So they talk about how it's just it's been found that maybe low concentrations it's not highly toxic, so that you can use it in the home, but do not ingest it. Toxologists have saying that it does that it makes the poison. How much you make up chemical, often weighing out these small concentrations is really difficult and can risk being above the toxic threshold. Long-term substance consumption of borax could also cause kidney damage. Many online posts claim that the proposes claims borax and boron, but borax isn't boron. It's just boron's in it, but borax also is a high concentration. And just kind of goes over saying this how this it's not good at all, and just not to use this stuff, that it's a bad trend, it's a dangerous trend, and Mikey's just pushing this crap because it's he really shouldn't do that. Mikey so eating borax intake 113 milligrams boron, which can so the verdict is false. Borax is classified as a poison by the Therapeutic Goods Administration, and that it should not be consumed, and it has many really adverse side effects.
The Epsom salt flush that I do, it's beneficial to you to clean out your colon. You can go ask a doctor. Like, I don't get where people come up with all this falsified information about how cleaning your colon out is a bad thing. Where do you come up with this stuff? I have no idea. I've been doing this for, when did I start? I started with prune juice. So again, if you go get a bottle of prune juice, I guess that's a bad thing too. So according to some of these globy people out there who live in other countries, please don't clean your colon out. Don't ever do that. Make sure you contact the people in the UK and ask them what you should be doing and how your health is, or how it should be, or what you should do to be more healthy, okay?
I mean, quite honestly, if you're going to decide you're going to take health advice between Mikey Smith, who doesn't research anything, doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, and is categorically taking things that could be toxic and detrimental to your health, or if you want to speak to somebody like myself, I would suggest myself. At least, the very least, I'll probably either do a little bit of research and maybe give you some general advice, or tell you to go speak to a medical professional about your pains, ailments, or if you got something going on. But yeah, I am definitely going to speak to Mikey Smith. But as for the whole colon cleanse thing, well, guess what, Mikey? There's no evidence or any proof to show that colon cleansing is beneficial to you. In fact, if you ask a doctor, and if you look it up, like I have, it's actually the exact opposite. And they say that colon cleansing could actually be harmful to you, and that your colon actually cleans itself. Now, if you want to do like some sort of cleanse, your best is to eat a healthy, balanced diet. Make sure you're getting lots healthy amounts of fiber in your diet. Something like prune juice and stuff like that. If you seem to be finding you're getting a little bit packed up, sometimes prune juice can help things kind of move on, kind of soften your stool a little bit. But your whole thing about drinking Epsom salts, if you take the recommended proper amount, and maybe look at the back of your package there, and realize it says 1 or 2 teaspoons and not 8 tablespoons, which a tablespoon is twice the amount of a teaspoon, just in case you didn't know there, FYI, buddy. You would know that is for if somebody who may be experiencing constipation, and only take it on occasion when you're experiencing extreme constipation. That's it. It's not for colon cleansing. Nobody's ever said that Epsom salts is for cleansing, which you don't have to do. There's no enema stuff are not needed unless you're doing a medical procedure in which they need to do like a colonoscopy or something like that, in which then they want to make sure it's cleaned out so they can see the colon. And only when they say cleaning it out is to make sure that there's no stool or stuff in there for the natural processes as your body is pushing stuff through. So that's the only time you want to do that, is if you have a medical procedure come up, like colonoscopy. But you know what, Mikey? I know you say I don't. Where do I get the stuff from? Well, see, I do proper research there, buddy, and I look and go to the professionals. The people actually know what they're doing. People who have studied this, that have dedicated their life to it. So let's check it out and see what they have to say. So this is the brand that Mikey showed on stream. He got from Walmart. And if we look at the back, it shows that from children 12 years old up to adult should take 2 to 4 teaspoons of per dose, and do not exceed more than 2 doses per day. So I looked up an article from the Mayo Clinic, which is a world-renowned nonprofit organization, and actually a hospital that they do, and they deal all sorts of different medical conditions, give health advice and stuff. So this is one they do healthy lifestyle, consumer health, and can colon cleanse, get rid of toxins in the body. Colon cleansing is a process that involves flushing out the large intestine with liquids such as water. It is commonly done before some medical procedures so that healthcare professionals can see inside the intestine. People who practice alternative medicine offer colon cleansing for other reasons, such as removing chemicals called toxins from the body. But you don't need a colon cleanse to get rid of toxins, also known as toxing. Toxing the colon also is not recommended or needed for any medical condition. So no, you don't need to do colon cleanse to detoxify. So look here, it says that no, you don't need to do toxins, that this actually has no research behind this. You can pause to have a look at this, but yeah, doing colon cleanses or anything like that, even using stuff like what Mikey's claiming, is just unfounded whatsoever. There's absolutely no nothing proving that it's going to detoxify you. Your body's able to do it yourself, just eating healthy and being active. And in fact, it actually holds lots of risks of doing internal damage and stuff if you do this. So no, Mikey's wrong, and here's the evidence to prove it.
I strive every day to keep educating myself, keep watching what I'm eating. I do have sugar from time to time because your body needs sugar. It's the amount that is getting to be too large that damages parts of your body.
No. Well, Mikey, no, you do not need sugar. Okay. Mikey's fully admitted that he actually is an insulin-dependent diabetic. And so you do not need any foods that have added sugar to them. Now you can have naturally occurring sugars that will pop up in like fruits and vegetables. Carbohydrates do break down into glucose in your body, which is a sugar. And you can have like different sauces and stuff sometimes have sugar in them, but you don't actually need sugar to or added sugars to survive. You can get the sugars you can eat, that your body needs. You can get from just eating a healthy diet. You do not need junk food. Don't need to buy donuts and tea from Tim Hortons every time you're out. So that's wrong, especially for a man like you, where your pancreas is pretty shot, and that you need to actually have injections of insulin to try to help keep your blood sugars in check and to move the blood sugars, the sugar out of your bloodstream and stuff like that. That's been pretty much building up and is probably part of some of your health issues that you're having. I know definitely for your feet, necropathy. Sorry, I could not get that word out. That is definitely happening to your feet. That is a direct result of your blood sugars being unchecked and being way too high. So no, we actually don't need sugars, especially added sugars that come from foods. We can get some stuff just from naturally occurring sugars that happen in having a healthy, balanced diet.
That's not my opinion. Those are the facts. Okay. I only give you facts. Okay. So if I tell you that I've been drinking Epsom salts once or twice a week for the last 10 years, and I have like my arms aren't falling off, my eyebrows ain't falling out, my tongue is still in my mouth. I don't know what's going on with you folks when you start getting all these weird things, but I understand it because you think you live on a spinning ball. So I would agree with that. You would think that these people on the outside are telling you whatever bullshit they're telling you, and you just agree with it. It's, yeah, let's go drink some more beer. It's good for us. Whoa! But hey, let's ignore what Mike has to say about this, that he's actually been doing this for 10 years. Okay? So, hey, if you want to pollute your gut and your intestines, go right ahead. Don't filter out any of that garbage. Keep it all in your system. See how long you live, okay? Go right ahead. Okay?
Really, Mikey, do you remember this last thing from your last stream you did? Let me just show you.
Oh, God, my legs are stiff. Whew.
Yeah, you know that stiffness you're getting in your muscles there, and your weakness, and the fact that you complained about this the whole time through that stream? That's due to you having magnesium poisoning, and that's because you're drinking way too much of this stuff. You have several other symptoms that I've noticed through watching these things. If you look up the symptoms, you might be really surprised. Just do a tiny bit of research and realize that it's not good. Also, the fact is you're not cleaning your gut out at all. What you do is you're dehydrating the shit out of yourself because you're putting in all these Epsom salts, just pulling a lot of all the waters from your body into your large intestine, and then it's going through and causing you to have extreme diarrhea, especially when you're having the insane amounts you are having. Now, I'm not saying that drinking Epsom salts, if you do the recommended dosage and amount of times, only do it on an occasional basis if you find it yourself to have a bit bound up and stuff. Apparently, that's fine, and that's what it's meant for. But to be doing it 2-3 times a week because you think you're doing a colon flush is wrong. One, you're not doing a colon flush. You're simply just giving yourself the squirts. And two, there's absolutely no basis, no medical evidence, nothing saying that the colon flushes are even beneficial to you, but they actually run the risk of causing harm. If you're eating a healthy, balanced diet and you're not getting bound up all the time, then you have no reason to do any kind of colon flushes. That's just pseudoscience bullcrap, mumbo jumbo that you see on the internet that people are usually trying to sell you a product. That's it. If you want to believe the grifters, go on, have fun. But no, that's not, there's no evidence to actually support that whatsoever. But what you are doing, Mikey, is poisoning yourself slowly. I know you're saying you're doing it for 10 years, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're a man who's slowly poisoning yourself and causing damage to your body. You're probably causing damage to your to your large intestine. You're probably causing damage to your kidneys, and you're definitely doing damage to your muscles. That little clip I showed is evidence of this. You see, you supply your own evidence that debunks everything you say. You've done it many times, and I've actually called you out on it a lot of times. You've proven the Earth being a globe countless times. You've proven that the Earth sets below the horizon and doesn't shrink to a point, which I obviously greatly appreciate when you actually show evidence of the globe and debunk the flat Earth. So I do appreciate that. Keep up the good work. But yeah, definitely health advice and stuff. What you think you're doing, you're not doing whatsoever. All you're doing is the exact opposite. And I've proved it. So you can see having 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts can be dangerous. It's not good for you. So if you look at here, the risks taking the amount of magnesium sulfate can lead to hypermagnesium, which can cause severe diarrhea, dehydration, abdominal cramping, irregular heartbeat, low blood pressure, muscle weakness, and in severe cases, kidney failure or cardiac arrest. It's definitely not safe to drink that amount of Epsom salts.
I'm only doing this because I care about you. Okay. A lot of these people like IC Spin, he could give a flying fuck if you died right now. And these are the facts. These are these agents out there, these government agents. McToon, he's the commander. I figured this out. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how I figured this out or who told me, but he is the commander. Okay. And he filters out the information to the other ones that have been hired. Okay. This is easily proven. Okay. We're going to start with IC Spin. Okay. He's one of them. Okay. Not a problem. They pretend to be your friend just to get your information. Okay. Not a good thing. We need to ignore all of these people out there. Okay.
MC Toon has absolutely nothing to do with my channel and the fact that he's promoted me once or twice, which I do greatly appreciate. Nor does anybody else. I have had some people try to tell me who I cannot have on my channel and what I cannot do on my channel. That hasn't ended very well for them. It doesn't matter. MC Toon doesn't tell me what I do on my channel, what I look at, what I debunk, or even what I do at all. If I want to do flat Earth or not, Toon doesn't have anything to do with it. I appreciate his support, and I do support him myself, and support other people in the community. But I'm pretty sure MC Toon doesn't control anybody's channel. He does his own thing, and everybody else is welcome to do whatever they want. So, Mikey, you better be showing this fact, that proof. You see you have this proof. You see you have evidence. Where is it there, Buttercup? I'm looking. I'm not seeing it.
Whatever this thing is, this is not, again, for those of you who live in the UK or other countries who like trying to demolish me as a person, I do wish you luck.
Dude, stop taking it so fucking personal. Not trying to demolish you as a person. I really couldn't give a shit. What I do try to demolish, and I do actually quite well, is demolish your arguments and demolish your claims, is what you make. Nothing to do with your person, Mikey. I really don't care. What I do care about is you peddling false information and claiming that you're the only truth seeker out there when it's factually and empirically wrong. So that's all I do. If you decided right now to give up the flat Earth and walk away, I'd have nothing to do with you. Really didn't give a crap. You're over in Saskatchewan, and well, I used to live there a long time ago. Well, actually, next province over. I don't anymore, and probably will never go back there again. So, I care that, for your health, which is why I make these and try to help draw attention to it. And hopefully, maybe one day you'll actually take some of my advice and start looking after yourself properly. And that's why, if I didn't care about you or didn't care about other people, I wouldn't make these videos. I would just simply let people go on, let you just go on poisoning yourself, and just, live my life. And anybody else who thinks they listen to you and is dumb enough to believe anything you have to say. But no, I make these videos because I do care about people, and I do care actually about you as a person, and want you to try to live a healthy, happy life and stop doing such stupid things like drinking drinks with 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts 2 or 3 times a week, or drinking borax whatsoever, and stop poisoning yourself. That's why I do these. So yeah, I do care about you. And as for the government, you think don't care. I think the government does care if a portion of the population is like drinking cleaning solution, like the whole Tide Pod challenge and all that stuff. They did care, which is why they put out warnings and try to show the dangers behind this. Because, well, it's not good to have a portion of the population doing these sort of really stupid and insane and dangerous practices. It obviously is a detriment to the healthcare system, detriment to the employing system, as well. It's not good to be having people do such stupid, frivolous, and quite frankly insane things.
You can see these spring worm, white worm things. There's like, you can see a couple here, 2, 3 here, another couple there, one there. There's at least 10 or 12 of them along the edge of the moon here for some reason. I don't know what they are. Hopefully I'll be able to record them again sometime. But yeah, this is something else.
So you're going to be recording that again, Mikey, is you get the P1000 back out and start using that again, because I think that's probably what you need, because you need the unique optics of that to get those same ghosting and same refraction, balance, the light bouncing aside there, and obviously get the angle correctly. But I believe it is actually possible to replicate it again. Now, if you back the zoom off a little bit, maybe put it on a not have such a windy night, you probably won't get the squiggles so much, but you still might get that that little point there, here and there. As for anything else you said there, yeah, all those other things along there, those are just different little points that are reflecting back. They're on the ridges of the craters, and yes, they are 100% totally craters. I got the pictures to prove it. I got much more highly detailed pictures than you do, because I actually do astrophotography, and I've gotten better over the last year and a bit since I've been doing this, so my stuff is actually showing a lot better. I digress though. But yeah, all you see in there is just different little points where the light's reflecting more brightly off the ridges, the top ridges of those craters there. And the one thing you did see there is because one of those is just hitting the right angle, in which you need to get lens ghosting in your P1000. That's what that is.
And again, I guess my equipment wasn't working that day. Maybe I don't know how to run my phone or by my binoculars, or I wasn't even using binoculars at this point. I was using a Nikon P1000, but maybe the Nikon P1000 wasn't working that day or something. I don't know what it is. People use up really, really retarded excuses, like maybe it was windy that day or snowing. I don't know. Like,
dude, it was windy that day. I looked at your video, your very own video. You could hear the wind howling through this microphone on the freaking P1000. So that's why it's so freaking squiggly, because the P1000, you can see in the video footage there, the whole thing shaking up and down and moving around because the wind knocking the camera around, and you have your lens extended all the way out. So now you give it something else to kind of the wind to push off, and and with such a high rate of zoom, then the tiniest little movement is going to look a lot more squiggly. Like the little short post I put up where I said something about squiggly stars. That's what it was. I was doing astrophotography. The wind is too strong, and with my telescope and the high zoom, everything, point sources were just all over the place. I couldn't get a decent observation. Just to kind of prove my point and drive it home a bit, here is a clip from the original video, which Mikey is actually reviewing on here. I went back on his channel to when he put it up 7 years ago. So you can clearly hear the wind howling through that microphone there, and that usually these microphones have a bit of a anti-wind thing, like a foam thing on it. So because you can hear that, it's pretty blowing that camera around quite a bit, especially with the P1000 with the zoom all the way out. It looks like you had that. So you got high magnifications, which is going to cause those small little any kind of disturbance to show up a lot more, as well as it's going to cause internal reflections, causing the lens ghost, like I said before. That's exactly what that was. You can see how the moon's moving this way, that moves the opposite way, and it's right with the, and then you can see where at the very bottom of the screen, because it goes away and then the angle's just enough inside the lens that you get again, and it goes down as the moon is moving that way. So that's all it is.
What should we think, guys? Like, let's be really stupid like the Globies, man. Okay. Yeah, let's think maybe there was a bird flying off the moon. Okay. Yeah, let's get real stupid now. Okay. Yeah, let's feel real cool, guys. All right, then.
Nobody's saying that's a bird flying off the moon, Mikey. That's just your freaking deranged imagination just thinking up stupid shit. And I can see with your trying to do a mocking tone is because you have no idea where it is, and it being explained as something that sounds a bit more plausible. It angers you a bit. But like I said, I did a little bit of research and found that most likely it's something called lens ghosting, and it's just to do with reflections. Because it's a known problem with the P1000, these bridge cameras. It's something that they do suffer with having a small sensor inside, and obviously the optics being what they are in that lens.
You know what that is? That's part of the, is that part of the moon? Like physically part of the moon? Because you can see it really faintly right there. That's part of the moon. Right there, you can see it faintly. What the hell? I gotta review that better someday. Oh man, maybe it's a flying cat. Oh, let's be a stupid Globy now. Oh, I should get a better camera. What kind of computer do you have, Mikey? Maybe it's your computer. Maybe you should get a telescope. Okay. Mikey needs a telescope.
Wow. Fuck's sakes. It's not part of the moon, you absolute freaking bell end. It's not part of the moon. It is what I said it was. It's a bit of lens ghosting from the P1000, a known issue. Look in the forums, you can see a lot of people who've done moon observations seeing the exact same thing. A lot of them claim it's like UFOs and shit like this, and then people replicate it and show what it is, then it gets debunked. These observations are debunked many times. But I said, Mikey, he just can't handle the fact is that he just can't seem to prove a single thing. But no, there's definitely not a piece off the moon. It's not coming off there. It's just that little point source off that little bright spot off the edge of the crater is being reflected inside the lens of the P1000. That's it. So yeah. Oh well, Mikey just showing his maturity. Oh dear me, he is a child, isn't he? Yeah, that's about it. So, so don't take any medical advice from Mikey. I can provide more stuff here. But do some research. You realize everything he says is complete bullshit. But that's about it. So remember, people, Earth's definitely a globe. Space is real, but don't forget, stay curious. I'll see you again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and comment down below. See you later. Bye.
And by the way, all those rumors on the internet are fake. I'm not flat. I'm not hollow on the inside, and there's definitely no reptilians inside of me!